What is up, everybody? So, in this video, I want to talk about a trade that makes sense for the Green Bay Packers, but not just the Packers. It makes sense for both teams. It makes sense for all parties, the players, everybody. Okay. So, before I get into it, guys, take a second, please, to subscribe. That being said, let's get into it. So, who am I talking about? And you're probably all going to be like, okay, yeah, who's going to want Bakhtiari? I get it. Bakhtiari his future is going to be uncertain. Okay, so Bakhtiari is entering his final year of his $92 million deal, and he carries a salary cap hit next year of nearly $40.5 million. He's missed 29 of his last 42 games, which is absurd. So they obviously can't rely on him. That's not accounting for the 3 games he's already going to miss on the IR, potentially out for the season. That's potentially, right? So who's a team that would be willing to roll the dice and be like, hey, yeah, we could use some help at the on the offensive line, and also let's roll the dice and get an all pro tackle, the best in the business when he's healthy, like a Bakhtiari. And maybe he's not healthy this year, but next year let's do it. Obviously, I'm not stupid enough to think that a team's going to absorb all of that. Packers are going to probably have to absorb half of that amount, but at least they can get maybe an able body in there, a guy that they don't have to break the bank on, all of that stuff. So, guys, who am I talking about and what team would be willing to do something like that? Okay. A team that would be willing to do something like that is a team that, you had a guy who is playing left tackle. They go and sign a free agent in Orlando Brown Jr. They bring this guy in. They move Jonah Williams from left to right. Jonah Williams is not happy. He's like, hey, listen, I want out. I want to trade. So let's get into that scenario. Jonah Williams of the Cincinnati Bengals, he was selected 11th overall in the first round in 2019 by the Bengals. He is currently playing the final year of his rookie contract of his initial $17.6 million deal. The Bengals did exercise a fifth-year option with this guy, so he is owed $12.6 million next year, way more affordable than Bakhtiari's salary. But that could provide an able body this year and then all of next season, okay? So, yes, I do know Rasheed Walker is there. He's very serviceable. He's going to be great. They can move him right or left. I do think Rasheed Walker would fill in nice, especially if somebody gets hurt. We're already going to be down potentially Runyon going into this upcoming Monday Night Football game. That being said, the Packers need help now at offensive line. They really do. Jonah Williams accomplishes that. He's not happy where he's at. Bakhtiari, I mean, we're not happy with him and his health and all of that stuff. There's so many question marks revolving around Bakhtiari. He needs to be gone. They need to trade him. Jonah Williams is a guy that makes sense for the Green Bay Packers. He could fit in very nicely and fill in very nicely there. So let's read about him. So the Bengals have started Williams on the right side this year, where he surrendered 2 sacks on 246 snaps per PFF. Williams surrendered 12 sacks and was whistled for 4 penalties across the 1,100 plus snaps at left tackle in 22. PFF ranks Williams as a 39th best tackle in the NFL out of 71 players who qualify at that position through 4 games this season. Okay, so that being said, guys, you got to remember Jenkins is coming back. So if they get a guy like Jonah Williams at left tackle, and then you've got Jenkins filling in nicely there, the left side all of a sudden looks a lot more reliable, a lot more stout. It provides extra oomph under the run game, all of that stuff, guys. This is a trade that makes sense. And you might be saying, okay, so yeah, talk to Gutekunst about that because the guy doesn't pull the trigger. Guys, it's inevitable. It's going to happen. They have to be in a position right now. Gutekunst is going to be making a move. It's just a matter of when and who for. They obviously need some help at the offensive line. So that being said, guys, leave your comments. Let me know what your thoughts are. I think a guy like Jonah Williams makes complete sense adding him to the Packer roster. Also makes sense for the Cincinnati Bengals because a healthy Bakhtiari on a contender like Cincinnati would make a whole lot of sense. And that's, again, rolling the dice on his health. And is he going to be healthy? All of that stuff. You need a contender to be willing to be able to make that call and that decision. And again, going into next season, it could be a nice fit for any team. But his trade bait is not that much. So a guy like Jonah Williams would be a nice fit. anybody is better than nobody on the left tackle. So that being said, guys, again, leave your comments. Let me know what you think. Go Pack.